Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And not to be outdone by Stephen Amell, Zachary Levi is now getting canceled for like the fifth time?
Who knows?
The fifth time this year, this month. So apparently he made some comments at a convention in the UK that Twitter, or X, or whatever you want to call it now, they didn't like, because he said that it was kind of dumb that he wasn't allowed to talk about Chuck. He wasn't allowed to talk about Tangled. He wasn't allowed to talk about these projects that were years old because of the current year strike.
Right. So these people got mad and went to Twitter and said that he said that the strike was dumb.
And that is not what happened. What happened was he thought it was kind of ridiculous that he wasn't allowed to talk about old projects.
I agree. That is stupid. People are coming to cons thinking you're going to see actors. Are they allowed to sign pictures from old projects?
I don't know.
Are they allowed to acknowledge old projects? People are going to be there and they're going to ask questions because they're not going to know there's an issue. This is stupid. This is why the strike is getting so much bad PR, because the rules are fucking stupid.
And meanwhile, certain A-listers, certain Oscar winners can still work on independent films. Kevin Smith, I believe, is working on a movie, isn't he?
He apparently got a one of those. He apparently got one of those. It's okay for you to do it because you're agreements.
Yeah, they had like temporary agreements that if it was an independent studio, you were still allowed to work. So it's just the major studios that they're striking against. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of overreach, I think, personally, and this is another reason why SAG-AFTRA is not looking very good in my eyes, beyond the issue with the influencers, that they thought they could police people like us.
I think that their overreach is what's causing the backlash.
And then the hypocrisy of letting some people work
double
while
standards,
others don't. And now you've got people going to conventions, and Zachary Levi and Stephen Amell, they do a lot of conventions, and they're not allowed to talk about past projects that were covered back in the day under SAG-AFTRA. So what's the deal? That was over and done with, but you can't even talk about those. Can't even talk about those.
If we're going to cancel him, can we just cancel him for that shirt?
That is a very fancy shirt. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Anyway.
Somebody might like it, and that's okay if you do, but...
Somebody might like it.
We're going to... good on a woman.
We're going to talk about this. Look, this is like the second or third time he's gotten canceled. He got canceled for making comments about the COVID shot, the vaccine. He's made some he's gotten canceled for following the wrong people on Twitter or Zitter or whatever the hell we're calling it now. So this is nothing new. Like, I swear to God, he's got he knows whatever he says is going to be a problem.
In Chinese, isn't the X pronounced like an SH? So would it be like shitter?
Maybe that's the point.
Anyway,
let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo.
Not SAG-AFTRA members, so we can talk about this.
We're not ever going to be, probably, because we do talk about it. So.
I don't think there's going to be much left of it after this. I think that a lot of people are going to take a good hard look and be like, yeah, you guys really overreached.
I think that their rules are ridiculous. The overreach. It's the overreach. They're like telling influencers who aren't in the union what they can and can't do if they ever want to be in the union. They're telling actors they can't, talk about movies and shows that were like 20 years ago, which is absolutely stupid. But they're allowed to go to conventions and take money. They just apparently can't talk about anything.
Yeah, so let's go down and see what he said first, and then we'll go back to his full-throated apology. So he was at the Manchester Comic-Con in the UK, and he talked about how he couldn't discuss anything about Chuck, Tangled, or Shazam. I'm not allowed to talk about This Is So Dumb. I'm not allowed to talk about any of my previous work, he said in this clip. I'm not allowed to talk about movies that I may be a superhero in. I'm not allowed to talk about TV shows that I may have been a nerd who worked at Best Buy in. I'm not allowed to talk about any animated princess movies I was fantastic in as the best prince ever. I'm not allowed to talk about those things. Could you imagine, what do you talk about? Like, okay, guys, you want to know what I eat for breakfast?
Right, because they're going to conventions, they're doing panels, clearly he's on a stage, and people are going to want to ask questions like, hey, what was it like working on this? What do you think about this project? That's what they're there for. When people were in line to get autographs and pictures, what are you doing? Just taking a picture, signing an autograph, and saying nothing to them? Because you're not allowed to say, hey, I liked you in whatever movie. Okay, thank you. You're not allowed to talk about it. This is stupid. It is. He's not wrong. It is dumb.
Well, he actually defends the fans. And I agree 100% with this. Again, I think I personally feel there's a difference between promoting a current project and promoting something from 20 years ago, I think you should be able to talk about that. If there's a movie like the Haunted Mansion thing, okay, I get that. You don't have the stars show up.
Because it's a current movie.
That's a current movie. You don't want to promote a current movie. Chuck has already made its money, right? It made its money years ago. People like Chuck, right? But it's not making lots of money now, I don't think. So anyway, it's come to my attention. He had to apologize. Just like Stephen Amell, he got a talking to. I think Fran Drescher came to his house.
I don't think she came to his house.
It's come to my attention that an offhand remark I made in jest last weekend is being taken out of context, he said.
How do you take that out of context, though? He said it's dumb in regards to not being able to talk about old projects.
It is dumb.
He was pretty clear.
Yeah. But I think people are making it out to be an anti-union thing.
No, I mean, that's just, okay, there. That just shows you how low these people are going to go. This comment was clearly meant to be one way, and they're deliberately running with it another way to cause him issues.
Yeah. So he says, let me be very clear. I fully support my union, the WGA, and the strike. I remain an outspoken critic of the exploitive system that us artists are subject to work in since I started my journey in this business 25 years ago. The strike is necessary to protect ourselves, our writers, and all those working in production who make the industry move. That. I'm sure they did. He also added, we cannot forget our fans during this strike.
Yes. They're the only reason that you're worth anything, the only reason that you get paid what you get paid is because people watch you. Yes. Or because you have some kind of marketing power behind your name. Otherwise, no one gives a shit.
Nobody cares. Fans that spent their money and energy traveling far distances to talk with us about our work that means so much to them, we should be able to engage them. Our business exists and succeeds because of fans, and I think it's imperative we appreciate them for their support of our careers.
Well, I agree with him.
I agree with him too.
I think it's crap that the union even had a talking to him because someone took it out of context. Because if you see it, he's basically like, I'm not allowed to talk about those things, and I think it's dumb. Well, it is dumb. And there are fans that are coming, and there's a lot of puffery out of certain people going on about, they're allowed to go work on their projects because they get a special waiver. They're allowed to do whatever, but and they're like really above it all, and they tell everybody how they need support. But it's not about the little guys that it's supposed to be about. It's about A-listers and stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fans are the only reason why people come see these shows, watch these movies, do what they do. And then you're going to I can't talk to you because the union says I can't.
Yeah.
About something from 20 years ago. That is stupid.
If that is the case, then I think the SAG-AFTRA can refund everybody's travel expenses, because if you went to a convention specifically to see your favorite celebrity to talk to them about a show they did decades ago, they should be allowed to talk about that. If they're promoting a new movie, that I think is a totally different thing. And this is massive overreach, and this is going to backfire tremendously, because influencers are looking at this like, wait, I can't even cosplay now. I can't talk about movies now because of you guys. And they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, wait, so I just spent $2,000 or $3,000 to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and I can't even ask any of these guys questions about movies or whatever that they worked on.
Yeah, I mean,
or whatever convention.
I thought it was you weren't allowed to talk about current stuff, but this is I'm not allowed to talk about past stuff.
Yeah, 10, 20 years ago.
No, wait, there is a thing here. Is that because he's not allowed to, or is that because he interpreted it wrong?
No, he's not allowed to. You're not allowed to promote studio projects. That's why he's like, this is so dumb.
It is so dumb. What are you supposed to talk about?
Yeah, what are you supposed to talk about? Like I said, they don't care what you ate for breakfast. They don't care about your dog. Maybe he has a nice dog.
I would care about the dog.
I would care about the dog.
Yeah, this is dumb. Like, people can't. And then you keep seeing this. There's been a lot of debate about celebrities going to conventions. Like, I know Steel City Con is coming up, and there's a lot of celebrities. I don't even go to it anymore because it's a celebrity petting zoo.
It is a celebrity petting zoo.
It used to be a toy show, and
yes,
I'd like
it was
to
a
go
toy
shop.
show.
If I would go shop, it would have to be like on a Friday morning in and out, because it is absolutely ridiculous with the number of celebrities they have shoved in there. They're overrunning them into the hotel. The venue's too small. You can get mad all you want, Steel City. Yeah. It's too small. It is. And you're cramming too many people in there. But anyway, they have I don't know how many, 30, 40 celebrities coming this time. I don't remember what exactly it is. And are they none of them are going to be allowed to talk about anything? Because people keep asking in comments about it, like, are we allowed to talk to them? Are they allowed to be there? They're allowed to take our money for photos and autographs. Like, I think Billy DeWilliams has said it's $250. Yeah. Like, you're allowed to give them money. Yeah. Are you allowed to actually talk to them?
Yeah, you can't say, hey, Could you tell me what it was like working with Harrison Ford? Oh, that's a struck project. We can't work about, you know.
So my next thing is, how are handlers going to behave? Are they going to be like, you're not allowed to ask questions? You go over there, get an autograph, get your photo, and leave.
Shut up, give us your money, and leave.
Because I know when we went to see
Christina
Ricci, because Pinky Boo loves Christina Ricci. And she was late, but it wasn't her fault. It was like a flight issue or something. She was late. We had stood there for hours, mostly you and Pinky Boo stood there for hours waiting for her. And when she got there, the handlers basically let her say like 2 words to people and then shoved them all out of the way. For the next people.
I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know Christina Ricci. I don't know if anybody's had, you know, but one thing I was surprised how small she was. I didn't expect.
Well, you're also very tall. So.
I'm very tall, but she was actually shorter than our daughter. So, so I didn't realize that was her first, because you're always thinking like, oh yeah, they're big or whatever. I expected you to be taller. No, but she seemed genuinely nice. She did. Now they did have.
A lot of people are genuinely nice.
They had a rule up. There was one movie you weren't allowed to talk about. She did not like that movie. She had a huge issue. I don't know if there was a lawsuit or I didn't forget what the movie was, but you weren't allowed to talk about this movie. Nobody was there for this movie.
No one even cared about
that.
They were
here
there, yeah.
Adam's family but you could tell Pinky Boo was one of the first people in line. You could tell she wanted to talk to her. Mm-hmm. You know, she didn't want to be like, oh, because she was so excited. You could tell she was so excited. She was, you know, tearing up a little bit. And I think she really wanted to talk to her, and she couldn't do it. You know, and Pinky Boo was kind of upset, but she's like, no, she was nice. But you can tell, I could see like the look in her eyes, like, I'm so sorry. I'm not allowed to, because all these people, and they're just like pushing through.
I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen in conventions now. It's like, because you're not allowed, because they have like things, what can you say and not say to actors? And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So you can say, nice weather today. I like your shoes, but you can't say, hey, what was it like being in this show from like 5 years ago, because someone might get pissed about it at your union.
Okay, so this is an open invitation for Dan Aykroyd. Mr. Aykroyd, if you're listening to our show,
what's that have to do with anything?
I'm saying he can come on the podcast.
Oh yeah, he listens to us every day.
He does. I'm sure he does. And we will not talk about your movies. I want to talk about paranormal stuff with Dan Aykroyd. That's my bucket list.
Yeah, he does. If you want to meet Dan Aykroyd, he wasn't. You know, he'd like. Yeah, he liked him. We liked his movies.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
You know,
yeah, I want to talk about Men in Black.
Movies, but you know? let's talk about UFOs.
Let's talk about UFOs. SNL. Yeah, it was pretty fun. That was fun. But yeah, I want to talk about, because he is like Dan Aykroyd is really into this stuff.
Yeah, as is Neon. He's been for years. Anyway, back to the point. I think that this is overreach. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to bite the unions in the ass, because the fans are going to turn against them, because they're like, this is overreach.
So now we've got Twitter or Zitter or Shitter, whatever we're calling it now, weighing in, saying, hey, Chris Pratt's not so bad between Stephen Amell and Zachary Levi.
Yes. You
know, because Chris Pratt said, no, we're not going to even talk about Mario 2 until the strikes get resolved.
Well, he said there's something going on, but they're not going to even announce it or talk about it until everything's fixed. He said that.
Yeah. Now, this person I agree with. Zachary Levi, on his comment that was taken way out of context regarding the strikes. People really need to learn to stop reaching and taking things out of context.
It was obviously taken out of context.
It was obviously look, he was joking about, like, he's like, oh God, this is so dumb. But yeah, I got to give you the spiel. You can't ask me about Tangled. You can't ask me about Chuck. You can't ask me about all the stuff that you're here to see me for. I mean, how frustrating is that? Like, yeah, I can't even.
And then he gets canceled for it.
He gets canceled. The thing is, they're pissed at him for other stuff. That's what I think this is about. Same with Chris Pratt. They're going to look for every reason to go after these actors that they think are wrong thinkers, or they're not. Because
is the union giving a bounty if someone can find things to catch people on?
No, they're keeping lists.
I know, but I'm saying, do you get money for this list or something? I can't understand why. They think mistakenly, and this is the same thing happened with the Comics Gate shit and all that too. Mistakenly, they think that they're gonna get a crumb from the publishers, a crumb from the studios. These people want to be in Hollywood someday. They want to be writers, they want to be actors, whatever. Same with the journos. So they think if they narc on actors, that will curry favor with them. So in 10 years or whatever, if they ever get around to joining, that they'll be like, oh, come on in, guys. Yeah, we're going to give you a big fat movie deal out of that too, because at one time you ratted on Zachary Levi. No, they'll take your money when you join the union after you have a deal.
Absolutely, they'll take your money. After you have a deal
and you did all the work. You know?
Yeah. So I mean,
like an agent.
It's the same with Stephen Amell though. I mean, he got in trouble for making comments about BLM. He said, he moved here from Canada. And he's like, maybe I don't fully understand the situation, but he's like, I'm not seeing this racism on every corner. that everybody seems to talk about. But he's like, I'm also from Canada, and I also live in LA now, and I just don't see it as much. And he also said, yeah, there are good cops. And because he said that,
which is true,
they tried to. Oh my God, how dare you! Now you're never going to join the union.
I dare.
So they canceled him for that.
I still love when Alyssa Milano was talking about defund the police, and then she called the cops because she thought someone was breaking her house or whatever. I'd be like, too bad, but they won't because they're good cops and they're doing their job, even though those people treat them like shit. Can we wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. I won't wrap it up with this quote though. This is how I feel about it. Zachary Levi is trending again. Remind me, are we supposed to hate him? Did he mention God once or not take the jab or question a rule or something? I can't keep up with all the pop culture dragging rules. That is true. This will pass too. I just think he got a talking to. If it had been an offhand remark at a convention that never made it out of the convention hall, nothing would have happened.
Right.
But because it made headlines. Here comes Fran Drescher.
Yeah. But the question really is, was he wearing designer clothes when he said it?
Was he? That tie, dude.
I'm like,
dude, that is out of the closet of Mike Brady. What the hell are you doing, man?
Shirt. But I'm like, look, I like vintage clothes too, but come on. Because they're all like, well, Bob Iger is designer clothes, and I was like, you're actors.
That's probably a $2,000 tie, I bet. Anyway, we gotta wrap this
probably
up.
Designer. Yeah.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.